Friends, Dr. Murphy on another culture cruise. Now, I think we can learn a lot about our human condition, both the human spirit, the good side, and the darker side, our human nature, in the business news. So, yesterday's Sunday business from the New York Times. The Gospel of Peter, we'll get back to this one. Wall Street sounds a retreat on diversity efforts. Fearing Trump, financial firms are avoiding a focus on gender and race. We'll get back to that. 3%, the rate of inflation, which rose in January from a year earlier. Yeah, everyone who fantasizes that we're going to control inflation indefinitely, it's fantasy. Weigh the options for bridging the Medicare cost gap. For many older Americans, out-of-pocket expenses can be cut, but there are trade-offs, folks. There are trade-offs to everything in this life. Jevons paradox, an economic theory that says as a resource becomes more efficient to use, demand for that resource will increase. Interesting. All right, so back here to all this fear of these financial institutions. Oh, they're so afraid of Mr. Trump, who is convincing everyone that he's in control. He's not. We, the people of this country, are in control. And if Donald Trump and his cronies take things too far, the people will revolt. Just study U.S. history or study world history, all right? The speed at which everyone is abandoning this work and fleeing this space is pretty amazing. Again, here we have just the pendulum of history swinging one way and then the other. Fed's interest rate isn't what you should focus on. Treasuries are the safe and steady core of many investment portfolios. Many people know that. Seeking God or Peter Thiel in Silicon Valley. When tech luminaries talk about their Christian faith, people listen spiritually and professionally. We've realized that, if anything, the rich, the wealthy, the powerful need Jesus just as much. Well, I agree with that. Everyone needs Jesus, and Jesus shows up in Jesus's time, all right? In God's time, as I see it. But what I've also noticed after 68 years on this planet is my thousands of agnostic family members and friends act more Christ-like than many of the avowed Christians I know. In other words, they give selflessly. They think of others before their own needs. And I also note that I've had the opportunity to oversee the death of thousands of agnostics, and they are saved, in a sense, at the end. Short of a sudden death, when the agnostics are dying, they are overwhelmed by a power much greater than them. It's fascinating to see. Okay, how Westport won over a Today Show host. Okay, this is good. Los Angeles faces pressure from wealthy residents. Some affected by wildfires in Pacific Palisades aim to wield influence amid recovery plans. Well, that's no surprise, right? Who wields influence? The rich and famous.